This is the first time in history that the Rohingya get to sit in person with the host government of Bangladesh. And this is the first time have happened in history of refugees being hosted in the country. Myself, when I was in the camps for over 6 years as a refugee, I have gone through this practically. So I don't have to go back to the history or the long history that my colleague have already spoken about. You understand the refugee life because we're here, and we know there's complex situations in Myanmar as well, and not the right time for us to talk about repatriation. To me, as someone who is coming from the ground, having spent many years in Cox's Bazar and now part of diaspora, it sounds like very complicated when we talk just about the repatriation. Think through inside the country. There are so many steps to get us started with before we talk about the final stage of repatriation for the millions of refugees to return from Cox's Bazar to Myanmar. There are internally displaced people in our own country, being kept away, isolated somewhere. And in our own country, the humanitarian organizations, donors, INGOs, are not allowed to operate or deliver humanitarian aids in the country. And people are starving, no water, no food, and someday they just got forced to leave their homes and hide somewhere else. And it continues. It didn't stop, it didn't finish. And we have seen tens of thousands of refugees have again arrived in Cox's Bazar, rejoined their families, existing families, especially starting from 4th of August last year until today. And it continues to happen, and there's no end of genocide. It not only happened in 2017, the government of Bangladesh and the host community have been allowing Rohingya to shelter in their land for more than decades now. It's not only 7 years, it's not only 8 years, it's been decades and decades long. And we still have refugees in Kutupalong who are called the registered refugee who have been here since the 90s or even earlier. So I think it is time for us to think beyond the repatriation, beyond the refugee life. Where do I start actually? That's the first question to ask. Where do we start the repatriation?